Dr. Michael Greger has spent decades analyzing medical research, dissecting thousands of studies, and challenging conventional medical wisdom. But when he reviewed the leg scan results from a groundbreaking 2-week clinical trial, even this seasoned physician was left speechless. The images showed vascular changes so dramatic that they defied everything the medical community believed about circulatory recovery timelines. In the United States, over 6.5 million people suffer from peripheral artery disease, with millions more experiencing chronic leg swelling, numbness, and circulation problems that conventional medicine often dismisses as inevitable aging. The standard American diet, loaded with processed foods and stripped of essential nutrients, has created a silent epidemic of vascular dysfunction that's hiding in plain sight. What Dr. Greger discovered in those scan results wasn't just medical data. It was proof that decades of nutritional neglect could be reversed faster than anyone thought possible. The study began with 47 participants, all experiencing chronic leg swelling and circulation issues typical of millions of Americans. These weren't extreme cases. They were everyday people dealing with the kind of symptoms that send patients to doctors' offices across the country every day, only to be told their problems are just part of getting older or prescribed diuretics that mask symptoms without addressing root causes. Week 1 brought subtle but measurable changes. Participants reported less morning stiffness, reduced ankle swelling, and the return of sensation in areas that had been numb for years. The research team documented these improvements, but nothing prepared them for what the second week would reveal. Advanced imaging technology captured something extraordinary. Blood vessels that had been constricted and damaged were showing signs of repair and dilation that typically took months to achieve through conventional treatments. The breakthrough centered on a vitamin deficiency so common in American adults that it's reached epidemic proportions, yet it remains virtually invisible to routine medical screening. This isn't just any vitamin. It's a nutrient that serves as the master key to cellular energy production and vascular integrity. When the body lacks adequate amounts, the intricate pump systems within blood vessel walls begin to fail, leading to the fluid retention, swelling, and circulation problems that plague millions. The mechanism is both elegant and devastating. American food processing strips this critical vitamin from grains, while the high-sugar, high-carbohydrate diet that defines the standard American diet actively depletes the body's reserves. Each meal of refined foods creates a biochemical deficit that forces the body to cannibalize its own tissues to maintain basic cellular functions. The legs and feet, being the furthest from the heart and most dependent on efficient cellular pumps, show the damage first. What makes this deficiency particularly insidious is how it creates a cascade of vascular problems. Without adequate amounts of this vitamin, the sodium-potassium pumps in blood vessel walls begin to malfunction. These tiny molecular machines, which use nearly 40% of each cell's total energy, are responsible for maintaining the precise balance of fluid inside and outside blood vessels. When they fail, fluid leaks into surrounding tissues, creating the swelling and edema that affects millions of Americans. But the damage goes deeper than visible swelling. The same deficiency that causes pump failure also leaves blood vessels vulnerable to a process called glycation, where excess blood sugar literally bonds with proteins in blood vessel walls, creating permanent damage. This sugar-protein combination acts like microscopic shards of glass, creating inflammation and further compromising circulation. The result is a vicious cycle where poor circulation leads to more inflammation, which leads to worse circulation. The participants in Dr. Greger's study were unknowingly trapped in this cycle. Their standard medical workups had missed the underlying nutritional deficiency because conventional blood tests don't measure cellular vitamin levels. They only detect severe, end-stage deficiencies that result in diseases like beriberi or scurvy. The functional deficiencies that cause circulation problems fly completely under the radar of standard medical practice. The intervention was surprisingly simple. Participants received therapeutic doses of thiamine, vitamin B1, along with supporting nutrients that enhance its absorption and effectiveness. The dosing protocol was designed based on emerging research showing that the recommended daily allowance for B1 is woefully inadequate for people consuming the high-carbohydrate, processed food diet that's become standard in America. Within the first week, cellular energy production began to normalize. The sodium-potassium pumps that had been struggling to function suddenly had the fuel they needed to operate efficiently. Participants noticed their legs felt less heavy, and the characteristic sock marks that indicated fluid retention began to fade. But these early improvements were just the foundation for what was coming. The second week brought changes that shocked the research team. Advanced Doppler ultrasound imaging revealed dramatic improvements in blood flow velocity and vessel flexibility. Areas of the circulatory system that had shown restricted flow were now demonstrating near-normal function. The leg scans that so impressed Dr. Greger showed blood vessels that appeared to have undergone months of healing in just 14 days. One participant, a 58-year-old teacher from Ohio who had struggled with leg swelling and numbness for over 3 years, saw her ankle circumference decrease by 2.3 inches. More importantly, sensation returned to areas of her feet that had been numb since she developed diabetes complications. Her case wasn't unique. Similar improvements were documented across the study group. The implications extend far beyond individual success stories. The research revealed how profoundly the American food system has failed to support vascular health. The milling process that creates white flour removes up to 80% of naturally occurring B vitamins, while added sugars in processed foods actively deplete whatever reserves remain in the body. It's a perfect storm that's created a population of people walking around with subclinical nutritional deficiencies that manifest as the circulation problems doctors see every day. Even more concerning is how this deficiency accelerates other health problems. When blood vessels can't maintain proper function, the cardiovascular system struggles to deliver nutrients and oxygen to tissues throughout the body. This creates a cascade of health issues that seem unrelated but share the same root cause. The fatigue, brain fog, and metabolic dysfunction that plague millions of Americans may all trace back to the same nutritional deficit that was causing the leg swelling in the study participants. Dr. Greger's reaction to the scan results wasn't just professional interest. It was recognition that conventional medicine has been missing a fundamental piece of the health puzzle. The speed and magnitude of improvement achieved through nutritional intervention challenged core assumptions about how long healing takes and what's possible when the body receives what it actually needs to function properly. The study results raise uncomfortable questions about current medical practice. How many of the 6.5 million Americans diagnosed with peripheral artery disease are actually suffering from undiagnosed nutritional deficiencies? How many prescriptions for diuretics and circulation medications could be replaced by targeted nutritional therapy? The implications suggest that a significant portion of circulatory problems in America might be entirely preventable and rapidly reversible through proper nutrition. The protocol that produced these remarkable results isn't complex, but it does require understanding how nutrients work together. Thiamine doesn't function in isolation. It requires magnesium as a cofactor and works synergistically with other B vitamins to support cellular energy production. The participants who showed the most dramatic improvements were those who addressed the full spectrum of nutritional deficiencies that contribute to vascular dysfunction. For Americans dealing with leg swelling, circulation problems, or the early signs of peripheral vascular disease, the research offers genuine hope. The same nutritional deficiencies that create these problems can be corrected relatively quickly when approached systematically. But success requires moving beyond the symptom management approach that dominates conventional treatment and addressing the underlying biochemical imbalances that created the problems in the first place. The 2-week time frame that so impressed Dr. Greger represents just the beginning of what's possible. Participants who continued the nutritional protocol showed continued improvement over months, with some achieving complete resolution of symptoms that had been present for years. The key insight is that the body's capacity for healing remains intact even when circulation problems seem entrenched. It just needs the right nutritional tools to function properly. This discovery represents more than just another treatment option. It's evidence that many of the health problems Americans accept as inevitable consequences of aging are actually correctable nutritional deficiencies in disguise. The leg scans that left Dr. Greger speechless should serve as a wake-up call to anyone experiencing circulation problems. The solution might be simpler, safer, and more effective than anything conventional medicine is currently offering.